Hello and welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Today we're going to be performing our post-mortem on the final stock deck, the Selesnya Pride deck. Now, we didn't exactly have a very great run. We did manage to get at least one win under our belt, but there are several issues that we kind of encountered. One is, simply put, our cats are not exactly that great. Let's dissect the issues first. Our good our really good 2-drop cat is Adorned Pouncer. That's it. We had multiple copies of Feral Prowler, but it's just a 1/3 for 1. Sure, it gives us a card when it dies, but it's not exactly and it's good for holding off a little bit of early aggression, but it's not exactly scaring anyone. Also, we're not exactly tuned for a long game. Although we want to hit Regal Caracal, that is not exactly what I would call that's more of a mid-game plan rather than a long-term game plan. So, uh, then we have also 3 copies of Initiate's Companion. This one is good. This one's good aggressively, but it kind of folds. It dies to everything early. I actually like this, but I guess it's a question of what exactly are we focusing on? Are we focusing more on the token strategy, or are we just focusing more on cats? Also, we have the Singleton Watchers of the Dead. It doesn't really do much, though. It is a 2/2 for 2. So let's we're actually gonna get more options when Kaladesh comes out. Actually, Kaladesh comes out actually quite soon, so this is probably going to be a very fast revisit. But right now, let's take a look at the cats that we have and have as options. Frankly, truth be told, not so much. We do get some cats from the Planeswalker decks, but those don't count. Pretty much the really good cats are in Kaladesh, so this might be... So going the cat plan is probably gonna have to wait till then. We do have Prowling Serpopard. That is a decent 3-drop cat. And let's see, we also have Scrounging Bandar. That's a cat monkey. Yes, if we're going to going the cat plan, we really need to include cards from Kaladesh. So let's assume that for the sake of argument, we don't have access to cards from Kaladesh. We could go into a token strategy instead. So we will keep the Regal Caracal. We will keep the Pride Sovereign, because that's a 2-card combo in itself. It's quite good. We'll also keep Crested Sunmare. Between that and the cat tokens produced by the 2 aforementioned cats, there is a decent amount of life gain. Also, we will keep Sacred Cat for that reason. We will go a bit more into Anointed Processions and Anointer Priests for that reason as well. So what are we gonna drop? We'll drop Antcrop Champion. We'll drop Antcrop Champion. For argument's sake, we'll drop all copies of Feral Prowler. We're gonna drop Imperial Aerosaur. We're gonna drop the 3 copies of Pouncing Cheetah as well. Then we have a Sunscourge Champion, but we'll probably drop that. We'll also drop Watchers of the Dead. That's our creature argument. So what kind of tokens can we rely on instead? Actually, I need to specify creature token. So let's see. We could get Angel Sanctions is probably a better embalm target. That it's also a nice combo with Anointed Procession. In fact, let's bump that up right now. At least 2 copies. The Anointer Priest we're gonna bump up to 3. Sacred Cat's already a 3. Regal Caracal and Pride Sovereign are a 2 each. I guess we can add an additional Pride Sovereign. Adorned Pouncer, it's a rare, but we'll bump this up to 3. Actually, no, we don't. Let's just for argument's sake leave it at 2. So what are the cats that we have that rather what do we have that produces creatures? We could go a cartoon. We do have the cartouches. We will want to run cartouche strength because it is green removal. In fact, what we can do is we can actually do a cartouche trial plan as well. So hear me out on this. Our buff strategy will include some copies of Cartouche Solidarity and Cartouche Strength. Let's leave it at 2 each for now. I'm going to drop Pounce even though it's instant. Because we have Ambuscade instead, we'll probably just bump that up by 1. Then we're going to add... We're going to add Trials of Strength. This one for 3 mana gives us a 4/2 Beast token. So this is another way for us to get tokens. It's less squishy than Initiate's Companion, so I'm going to actually... And we can actually continue to buy it back and forth. So, and having Trial Solidarity is a nice rebuy, so I'm going to bump up the cartouches by 3 each. We can sacrifice the Initiate's Companion at this point. We'll also sacrifice Radiant Destiny because we are not going all in on the cat plan. Oh yeah, we need to bump up Trashing Brontodon because there are plenty of annoying instants and sorceries. So let's go back to creature tokens. Let's see what other interesting options we have here. Crested Herd Caller. Okay, we have to be aware of our mana costs. So 5 mana 3/3 that produces another 3/3, maybe not too much. We already have a 5 mana 3/3 that produces 2 2/2s. 2 2/2s and buffs our other cats as well. So we'll probably leave it at that instead. We got better synergy that way. We can get more tokens courtesy of Saprolinks. There are plenty of good green ones, but maybe the Saproling plan. What we could do is we could put some copies of Tendershoot Dryad. That is a good Saproling. That is a good way to get the Saproling plan. There's also Oketra, the true produces Indestructible God if we get 3 or more creatures, which shouldn't be hard in a token strategy, and also creates tokens as well. This is another way we can go around it. So yeah, maybe Oketra is a good fit here. Well, okay, I'll put a copy of Oketra in for now. Let's just so I don't forget. Polyraptor, no. There is a deck around Polyraptor. Basically, find way it combos with Forerunner of the Empire. Find ways to deal damage to everything on board. Basically, this is another way to do the Dino Ramp strategy. I didn't cover this last time because I didn't cover this, but it is something nice to explore as well. So let's see, what other options do we have? Okay, Sandworm Convergence. This is a nice top. This is also a decent top end, but we're more of a mid-range deck. I guess you could run it if you have it, but I don't think I want to build my deck around this. I guess green-blue ramp control would do great with this. Okay, so we got Saproling Migration, Produce It, and Spore Swarm. I don't think the Saprolings are a good fit for green-white. So yeah, we'll put some copies of Tendershoot Dryad for argument's sake, because at least he produces his own army-in-a-can. Verdant Force, yeah, that's a very high top end. Okay, so I guess that those are our decent options. Again, Crested Sunmare single copy. I guess you can make it a 2 of. But we are having a lot of 5 drops at this rate. 1, 2, 3, and Tender Shoot Ride is 4. We will drop Strength of the Pack. We don't need to pump our guys that much. So okay, that actually we could just drop the Trial of Solidarity. I think a singleton Trial of Strength is interesting enough as it is. In fact, we already have 3 cartouches of Strength. This is actually the weaker cartouche because it is a fight. It is somewhat removal, but it's also creature dependent removal. We do have access to white, so I'm gonna drop this down by 1. Also, it's a bit more expensive to buy back. In fact, we have the Cartouche of Solidarity. That's a cheaper one, so I'm gonna drop the Strength ones altogether. We're gonna 2 copies of Ambuscade. We're gonna replace Baffling End with Seal Away. That one's always been better in my opinion. So Seal Away, probably 2 copies, I suppose. Then we'll keep 1 copy of Ixalan's Binding and 2 copies of Cast Out. At least we can cycle those. Now let's take a look at our. Oh, there's an Appeal to Authority here. Actually, let's check. Let's check Prepare to Fight. That is the white-red one. No, white-red, white-green. That's the white-green one. Okay. In comparison, we have 2 to cast instant. Untap target creature gets +2/+2 in lifelink, so that's a good combat trick. And the other half is removal. We did win 1 game with Appeal to Authority, and that one was out of the blue. But I kinda prefer Prepare to Fight. In fact, another card I would consider is Mouth to Feed. It gives us a 3/3 hippo for 3, and if we have enough decent 3-power creatures, let's say we buffed up a Pride Sovereign, that will give us an extra card. Let's say Tender Shoot Ride's been making tokens, and it's now Ascend, that also will give us cards. Yeah, I think I actually talked myself out of Prepare to Fight. Yeah, let's put Mouth to Feed in, because card draw is going to be a weakness here too. Card draw is a weakness here too. So let's take a look at that. I can even drop the Adorned Pouncer altogether. We already have Sacred Cats. Adorned Pouncer is better as an eternalized target. I guess this is a way to say that we have more late game in terms of 5-drops. But I can make an argument for dropping these in favor of 1 Tender Shoot Dryad and maybe another Regal Caracal, or even another Anointed Priest maybe. Anyway, let's check the mana. Okay. Speaking of removal, Desert's Hold has to go. That one's the weaker one. Definitely put in another Sealed Away. So, looking at all this, we'll definitely drop the 4 copies of Tranquil Expanse in favor of... What's that card? Okay, Glacial Fortress is white-blue. Drawn Catacombs blue-black. Dragon Skull Summit's black-red. I really don't remember the white or the green one. Okay, let's type Plains or Forest. Well, Sun Petal Grove. There. I was thinking Scattered Groves also. Definitely 4 copies of that. So we have 2 copies of Shafet Dunes. That is one way to pump our entire team. Hashep Oasis is probably the weaker one, but let's check our color distribution. See which one we should lean towards. Yep, we're leaning towards white. The green is not so much, so we will drop the Hashep Oasis. We will keep 1 copy of Desert of the Indomitable, but we'll bump up Desert of the True by 1 more. And we'll bump it up 1 more Plains, I suppose. Actually, no. That's it. As always, I would kind of default to put in an Arch of Araska. There's also Dunes of the Dead. It produces color. Okay, let's take a look at that. We have Dunes of the Dead. What this does is it just creates colorless mana, but when we put into the graveyard from the battlefield, let's say we sack it to Shafet Dunes, that we get to create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So we get that bonus. We get that bonus as well. But we're not totally dependent on pumping our entire team. So we're cycling desert. True. We kind of want to have early mana plays. So I'm gonna actually just put in another planes. There's also one other option. Let's see. One. So there's one other option we can consider. So okay, no, that's no. Okay, I misspelled her name. Okay, so we have Hotly Radiant Champion, but actually she is a good fit. She's another way to pump creatures. She can get an insane amount of loyalty if you cast her with a good board. I guess we could give her a try. So I would much prefer Oketra in this case, though. Pseudo planeswalk. Not really a planeswalker, kind of a pseudo planeswalker of sorts. So if I guess this is where I would drop that Dorn Pouncer, but let's check our mana curve. Nope. We should probably drop a 4-drop. We actually have a 4. Yeah, Mouth to Feed, 4 to cast. No, that should trigger us. Okay, I'm actually curious. How do they regard Mouth to Feed? Okay, they regard that as a 4 casting sorcery. Okay, so we can just drop Mouth to Feed, I suppose. This is either Mouth to Feed or Trial of Strength. Actually, the cartouche combo might be a bit too cute. Let's streamline this. We don't need to overload it with everything. So okay, we drop those cards. We have 3 card slots. Yeah, let's. Okay, I'm going to put Adventurous Impulse, but we're going to have to revise our mana cost after this. So we're definitely going to be more green at this point. Well, our mana's kind of more green anyway right now. Let's see how it goes. Yep, it's much better. So I guess I guess you can say your assignment is to fiddle around with the numbers, see what works better in your experience. Maybe Tender Shoot Dryad as an army-in-a-can is a lot better than a Regal Caracal Pride Sovereign combo. No, Regal Caracal Pride Sovereign combo. Or maybe you want to go more in on that combo. Crested Sunmare might be okay, so you could put more of these in, I suppose. The Anointed Procession plan might feel a bit win more, so you could probably just drop those in favor of more creatures themselves. There are ways to work around this. Even the Ambuscade could be adjusted too. Reason we're having some of these is because there is a hex proof from White Knight right now. Actually, it's a black creature. It has hexproof from white, so we don't want all our removal to be white. We want to have a few options at least. And actually, if you notice, a lot of our creatures are kind of white too. Even the cat tokens produced by Pride Sovereign are white as well. So probably need to be a bit careful. If the meta starts shifting more towards knights, you probably don't want to go all white. But this is basically an example of our Selesnya Pride deck. One way to approach this. Again, that is pretty much the beauty of Magic. There are some decks where the way to approach it is very clear cut, but there are some decks where the way is much more open-ended or I wouldn't completely say open-ended, but there are options around this. In fact, one can argue that we can make a mono green token deck with the cards we have right now. It's going to be basically Saprolinks. We can make a mono white version of the token deck, basically centering around Embalm. Plenty of options, plenty of strategies. This is all up to you to decide. So we'll take a good look at this deck before we go. And if you like what you see, please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And pretty much thank you very much for watching. We've pretty much completed our first run, and we're going to revisit, and we're probably going to revisit these decks again now that Kaladesh is coming out. So again, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you very much for staying tuned to us. Wait, do we have a 61 card deck? Yeah, nope, just remove the abandoned sarcophagus. Okay, thank you very much, and see you again next time.